and over to the Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jirish. So we welcome Toastmaster Lithika to deliver her speech. So Toastmaster Lithika, transferring fear into power. Transforming fear into power, Toastmaster Lithika.
Ago, if someone would have told me that I'll be standing here and talking in front of random unknown audience, I would have probably laughed at them. But here I am today and I want to remember this moment for rest of my life. Along the way, I met three amazing people whose support has been invaluable in this experience. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge their guidance on this experience. A very happy morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Back in school, it was my math teacher. He was more than a teacher, he was like our friend, guide, mentor. And for our age, he was like our cool chitapa. Back in school, I hate math. How many of you here hate math? Can you raise your hands? Okay. I'm able to see one hand. Anyone else? Okay, at least I'm able to see two hands. So I'm so happy to see two hands who are like me. So it was on one fine day when I failed a math test. Okay, I was ready to give up completely and convinced myself that numbers and I were not meant to be. But my teacher walked to me smiling. He said that try to read the question and translate it to your mother tongue. If you understand the question clearly, you are halfway to the answer. And that moment made me realize the problem is not with math, but it is about how I approach problem. And that is the power of having a mentor, is what I believe. But before you ask me if I like math now, nope, never. But I'm always grateful for the teacher who has taught me to give it a real shot. As I moved to my college, it was my HOD who believed in me when I didn't believe myself. I always wanted to be a medical student, but life has its own twists and turns, and I ended up in engineering. With zero interest in studying, I was great at projects, but terrible at academics. It all changed on the day when my HOD gave me an amazing opportunity to present my project to IEDC Club. And guess what? I got 2 lakhs funding for my project. In one day, I turned from a girl who with zero interest in studying to the guy who actually got funding for their project. And the moral of the story here is never underestimate the power of your HOD. And here is the catch. My college management owned that money and I had to spend 2000 rupees from my own pocket to give treat to my friends. But from there on, my HOD pushed me to every events, every college symposium and project competition. He even gave me OD so that I had no other excuses than to go and attend. Eventually, I started liking the subjects. I started to work on exciting projects and somehow got placed. When I first joined Ford, people used to say me, never believe anyone in your workplace. But I was fortunate to meet someone who made this belief wrong. I met a truly great soul here who believed in me and helped me move out of my comfort zone. I still remember the final day of our induction program. There was an activity where I have to give a presentation. I was terrified. Despite being in the AC hall, I could feel the sweat pouring out of me in the nervousness I had. And the presentation didn't go well as I hoped it to. And that day, I made a promise to myself that I'll work on this fear. And that's when I joined Toastmasters. In the beginning, I used to speak so fast. wanting to complete my speech and sit as soon as possible. But I was fortunate to have an incredible mentor who guided me through the way. He didn't just help me draft my speech, but also he invested his time in me, running countless rehearsal sessions and motivating me to step out of my comfort zone. His dedication not only helped me to understand the importance of voice variations, pace, and delivery, but all slowly I started to find my confidence. And there were moments when I felt really frustrated, when perfection seemed out of reach. But now, if I go back and see, I have come a long way from where I started. I can speak here without nervousness. I can use voice variations and I can deliver my thoughts with confidence. I know there is still a long way to go, but from where I have started, I have came a long way. And my Toastmasters mentor had played a huge role in this journey. Not only did he help me to step out of my stage fear, but also he showed me to unlock my potential and equip me with the tool of confidence. To all the three of them and to everyone who supported me along the way, all I have to say is a big thanks. You have shaped me to a better person. Tia Modi.
Speech, let me call our speech evaluator, Toastmaster Jirish.
Thank you, General Evaluator, the distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon. So here comes my evaluation report, my target speaker, Toastmaster Lithika. Introduction to Toastmasters mentoring. This is one of the wonderful project that I like to say, because the way that we started remembering, the way that we started to remember and also to exhibit our gratitude to the mentors that we have met in our life. So one of the important project and interesting project in Toastmasters. So coming on to your speech, I really love the way the speech got structured. It had a very good introduction. In the introduction, even you started upon what you're trying to say, and also you started up with a question. From that point, it started grabbing the attention of the audience. So people were keen to listen. So what this girl is going to speak about, and also the transition from your introduction to the body, and also with a very good conclusion to be like a complete speech. The script was very well done. And also, the one thing that I really loved in your speech, when you started asking a question, only one or two responded, but you were not taken aback with their response. You were still going out with, okay, two people responded. I'm really happy with that. Exhibiting that smile and also having that smile throughout your speech was really making me to gel with your speech, to listen again and again like what you're going to speak, and also that really makes everyone to keenly listen to your speech. So that was very well done. And again, very good gestures. It was not overdoing, and also like there was no gestures in your speech. You had a very good gesture. Also, holding that smile that I was been speaking about throughout the speech was an added advantage, so that people make always a contact on what exactly you are trying to say. Always taking like what exactly you are trying to convey to the audience. That was very well done. And when it comes to mentoring, you had three different phases in your life, starting off with your school life, being weak in mathematics, and again aiming for your medical, but I ended up in an engineering student, and also getting up into Toastmasters. So it had a complete story, because not only that you are struggling, and also it showcase how well you are being pushed into and how well you have achieved in your life. So that was very well noted, because it was not people like saying I have been struggling and people were helping, how they were helping, what is the end result, even that was showcased very well. So that is the complete moment in Toastmasters memory. You're not only speaking about your hindrance, but also the success story behind on how well they have mentored. It is not only they have mentored well, but also how well you have been taken that into yourself, and how well you have considered that and you have excelled in your life. So that was very well showcased. So these are all these are all the things that I really loved in your speech. Just for the sake, I do not want to say like you are struggling, you are doing something wrong. I do not want to do any kind of wrong feedback because I have not noticed anything such like that. But I just want to challenge you with only one thing. Most of the times I used to see you have been taken your eyes out of the camera just thinking like this, because do not try to take out your camera in an online mode, because when you are taking your eye out of your camera, people might think that you are struggling to speak something. So that might give a small gap so that people might not be in connect with what exactly you are trying to speak. So it is just a challenge. It is just a way that I want to let you know, like, always try to look into the camera only when you're speaking into your online mode. If it is going to be an in-person mode, you have a wide range of audience. You can turn your face here and there and you can speak onto them. But getting into an online mode, try to focus on what on your audience or to the camera that you are trying to speak, so that people will always stay connected throughout your speech. Overall, it was a wonderful speech. Just stay connected to the audience on just looking onto the camera. Otherwise, it is a wonderful speech, I would say. Thank you, and over to the gentleman.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jirish, for that detailed evaluation of Toastmaster Latika's speech. Now let me call upon Toastmaster